This changes everything for the WWE as Netflix reveals shocking details on the future of wrestling that has many WWE fans fired up right now, and we're gonna break it all down for you guys coming up on this episode of Wrestle Digest. But before we get into it, make sure down below and hit that subscribe button because we're gonna be here on the road to Wrestlemania with you guys, keeping everything up so you're not gonna want to miss anything on this channel over the next few months. So make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. But Darius, we gotta jump right into it because WWE is hot right now. It might be one of the most popular things in the entire world right now, especially in pop culture and with the move to Netflix. And this has caused Netflix to drive up their prices $2 more per month in the US, costing you now 25 bones a month to watch Netflix without any ads. And yes, this is all because wrestling is on Netflix, and it has brought so much attention to the already dominant streaming platform, and at good reason for Netflix to bring it up because they have millions and millions and millions of people worldwide tuning into WWE every single week, every single Monday, every single Friday, and during PLEs as well. This is going to be huge for Netflix, and they had to drive the price up here because if not, everybody's kind of just mooching off it, and they're not making any money from this acquisition of WWE at all. But it's not just Netflix that is increasing the prices; it is the tickets to WrestleMania 41 right now, sitting at the very, very top of the stadium in Las Vegas. You're paying $700 or up. I've heard of people paying $1,000 or more for nosebleed seats at WrestleMania. And the current most expensive ticket, yes, you're reading that right, that is 15,000 US dollars. That is a lot of money to go pay and watch wrestling. Worth it though, in my opinion. And that's just for one night. That's not for 2 nights. That's for one night. And a lot of people are saying, how is this possible? Is it because Cody Rhodes is so hot? No, it is the big dog. It is the OTC. It is the tribal chief drawing in so much for the WWE right now. He returned as a babyface, bringing in 100+ million views over WWE's social media, selling out new merch, and he's had a limited edition title sold out in, yes, 2 hours. And Darius, there is no way about it right now. Roman Reigns is the top dog once again in WWE, even beating out our guy, Cody Rhodes.
He is the top guy in WWE, and we'll get more into him in a second, but WWE is the hottest ticket on this planet right now. Buildings are being sold out like nothing. And we'll get into the specifics of Raw in a second, but in terms of pay-per-views, I mean, this is they're breaking records for their gate every single night at this point because things are just going up and up. And I mean, again, it is the hottest ticket on the planet. In terms of Netflix, I mean, they've upped their prices before, right? And we're both not in the US, and obviously, they're upping prices for US customers, and a lot of US customers are still seeing ads, when they go to commercials. We don't see that, but it is justified to up the price this time because it's a good product and how much you get out of it besides the live stuff, even though you're getting all that live stuff. And again, if you're outside of the US, you get everything on Netflix, right? Like NXT's on Netflix, SmackDown's on Netflix, everything is there. So the value is definitely there. So this time I would say Netflix is warranted to raise their pricing, but it does make sense, right? This is the hottest thing on the planet right now in terms of sports, entertainment, what have you. It is, and I think it is all thanks to the tribal chief Roman Reigns. And again, a lot of people had a part in this. You have celebrities coming in now, right? We made a video on Logan Paul, right? Like he's another guy who's come in, mainstream media, stuff like that. So obviously there is a lot of that, but Roman Reigns took this product out of the gutter in the COVID era, whatever you wanted to call it, the Thunderdome, and pushed them forward through this with one of the best storylines we've honestly ever seen in WWE and wrestling, right? With the Bloodline storyline. So he thrusted them through this to this new era, to the Triple H era, whatever we're calling it at this point. And obviously Triple H has a hand in that too. We're going to get to that. But I think that he's the biggest star. He's must-see TV. He's appointment viewing. He is the tribal chief. He's Roman Reigns. He's one of the biggest stars that this industry has ever seen. And the stats speak for themselves. He said it, right? Like I like to think that he's somewhat humble, but at the same time, you watch these press conferences and it doesn't come across as that because he doesn't need to be. Like the numbers don't lie, right? So no, he's been fantastic. And a big reason why all of this has been possible and this move to Netflix. And not just that, the time we're recording this, Travis Scott is about to release his new single, which is now the new Monday Night Raw theme song. Like, Travis Scott is the theme song to Monday Night Raw. Like, there is so much mainstream exposure with this now. This is the hottest thing on the planet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen Travis Scott coming down with Jey Uso smoking one. Who would have thought we would have seen that on TV? I mean, we've seen so much since the move to Netflix in just a short amount of time that's made WWE even bigger than it already was going into the move to Netflix. I mean, I can't believe the platform that wrestling is on right now. If you had to tell me when I was a kid that wrestling would be this big and this big of a part of the entire pop culture scene, I would have laughed at you. If you tell me The Rock would have been one of the most popular people in the world. Like, it's crazy what this company has done to not just give their talent a platform, but to give themselves a platform to where the biggest streaming giant in the world wants you on their platform. You're doing something right. It's on the back of, you know, Roman Reigns, of course. I mean, we would never thought that Roman Reigns would have got this far. I'm just so grateful that this storyline did happen. I mean, this guy had leukemia. At one point, we thought maybe he would never wrestle again. And to be the guy, a consistent champion for 3 years, to build up this storyline with Cody Rhodes, to build up the storyline previously with Brock Lesnar, this guy has carried the company through the dark days, and they're seeing the benefits of it right now. And our boy Cody Rhodes is definitely reaping those benefits. And Paul Levesque as well. I mean, without him, this deal doesn't work. This doesn't happen. I mean, it's crazy right now. There's 400 available tickets for the January 20th episode of Monday Night Raw this past week. I mean, that is crazy. When you think about 400 tickets being available the day of a show, you know how big that is. I mean, it's crazy what Paul Levesque has done. Yes, he inherited it from Vince, and Vince is a great promoter. You gotta put it to him. You love him, you hate him. He generated the product we all loved for years and years and years. And there's no better person to take it over than Paul Levesque. He's done so much for this company. Like they said, one Twitter user says here, you know, this WWE feels like the hottest ticket in town right now. The WWE Raw Netflix premiere was an almost perfect show. I thought it was amazing. I mean, I didn't think we would have seen The Undertaker come out at all. It was some great surprises mixed with some great matches. Also, another Twitter user says, you know, Raw is a hot ticket, and it proves that by having a brand new stadium in LA sell out, break an arena gate, while also streaming on a new platform. I mean, this WWE right now, Darius, is crazy, and it only gets better because we see now WWE and TNA are combining, and well, not combining, but they are crossing over. They're allowing more talent to say, hey, you know, maybe Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, wants to go to TNA one week. Maybe Joe Hendry wants to make an appearance on WWE. That is huge, not just for WWE, but for just the entire wrestling world in general. We see AEW do it with New Japan. Yes, we can say they may be copying them, but TNA and WWE were heavy competitors for years and years and years. Nobody thought we would have seen this day come, and the fact that at the Royal Rumble, we might see Jordan Grace, we might see Joe Hendry, we might see Jeff Hardy come out. This is ridiculous, Darius.
Even the Hardy Boys are even teasing it on Twitter already. Like, it's already starting, right? As soon as this was announced. But, you know, this industry is a copycat industry anyway. So to say, you know, I've seen it online, right? A lot of people are like, this is just copying what AEW is already doing. But you had to thought, like, it was going to come along, right? And, you know, Vince McMahon, I don't want to spend too much time talking about him. But yes, he did cultivate all this. He made the company what it was back then. You know, we know everything that's happened recently. And that's awful stuff. But at the end of the day, Paul Levesque took over, and he has a new way of thinking. And I think he'd be the first to admit it, that he was stuck in an old way of thinking, right? Like Vince McMahon, very similar to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon did things because this is the way I want them, and this is the way I want it to go. But I think what Paul Levesque Triple H is doing now is he's opening everything to new ideas. He wants to hear what you have to say, right? Whether you're creative, whether you're the actual talent, whether you're the lighting guy, right? He wants to hear what you have to say, and he's going to rack his brain for more ideas as well, put it all together and see what you come up with. And they came up with this, and they're like, you know what? Having TNA stars we've seen over the last couple of years actually make surprise appearances, whether it be on NXT or in the Royal Rumble, is actually good for business. So why don't we do that? It's good for the industry. Why don't we continue to do this? It's not like merging it and completely eating it, which we'll talk about in a second because that is still possible. This is just something where, NXT stars can show up on TNA, and TNA can show up on WWE and vice versa. Maybe special events, special matches, what have you. I think that's great. It doesn't mean that they have to eat them as a whole. Although there are rumors, as you're seeing on your screen right now, that there is a world where WWE, and I'm surprised that this didn't happen actually earlier when Vince McMahon was still in charge, will buy the competition outright. I'm not sure that's actually going to happen. TNA, I think, is one of the largest promotions still that feels kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like an indie promotion to a degree, right? Like, so I don't know if they'll end up doing that, but I think this partnership is great for the industry. It's great for both brands. And the Royal Rumble is just that much more exciting now because who's going to show up on the WWE side? We only have a few confirmed. So who's going to show up on the WWE side and who's going to show up on the TNA side? And there's a lot of unfinished business between a couple people in TNA and WWE. So what if they end up in the ring together at the Royal Rumble? One guy could cost some guy his dream at WrestleMania. I think that's very exciting. I think this just opens up a whole new door of possibilities, opportunity for the talent, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is good. I just hope it doesn't end up like AEW. I think AEW made a huge mistake by having all these championships on one show. By having, oh my god, FTR comes out 1 week to the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. John Moxley's coming out with the New Japan title. Like, we don't know what championships are what championships on AEW. At least, AEW fans obviously know that. But, like, the casual viewer, they're like, oh, John Moxley's the champion. No, he's not actually. He's actually the champion of another promotion, but he's here every week. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff gets confusing to the casual fan. Not to us diehards, but to the casual fan. And I hope WWE doesn't kind of influence this like the way they were on AEW. I hope they don't have, like, Joe Hendry on WWE every week as the TNA World Champion, so then when new people are coming to the product, they're like, oh my god, Joe Henry's the champion. No, it's actually Cody Rhodes. No, it's actually Gunther. You know what I mean? Like, it does get confusing for the casual fan when you're trying to explain it to them for the first time, so I hope this doesn't happen. But I do also want to see dream matches, like the Battle of Scotland between Joe Hendry and Drew McIntyre would be phenomenal. It'd be a phenomenal work leading up to that match as well, and I think that opens the door to a lot of opportunities, like you said, for this stuff to happen. And I don't think that we will see, kind of WWE buy TNA. They could buy them, but I don't think they will absorb them into just like the TNA just dissolving altogether. But I think this is very interesting nonetheless, and I did not see this coming. This was not on my 2025 bingo card, and for it all to happen, like you said, right before the Royal Rumble, leads to questions everybody. Like, are we going to see Jeff Hardy at the Royal Rumble? What is going to happen? We have no idea what is going to unfold here, and that's the good thing about the Paul Levesque era. You never know what's coming next, because if the New Day had to go to Vince and be like, hey, we want to turn heel, I think that would have never happened. I think the New Day turning heel was not on my bingo card at all either. So I think Paul Levesque is very open and receptive to new ideas from talent, like you said, and I think that's what's making this company even bigger every single episode, every single week, is having the talent to say, hey, like Chad Gable, for instance, hey, I want to go up against the Wyatt Six. I mean, that was an incredible storyline, and I think they have so much talent there that have a lot to show, especially in NXT, and it's definitely going to be big for the future of wrestling. But, that's a lot to take in this episode. We want to hear your guys' thoughts on everything we said down below in the comment section. We love reading your guys' comments. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be here right up till the end of the year, bringing you wrestling content. We'll be here every day, all the time. So make sure to go down below, subscribe to the channel, stay up to date on your favorite wrestling, your favorite wrestlers, wrestling content. We got you guys covered. But as always, I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Darius. We'll catch you in the next one.